Everybody, Karyn Bryant here with Cub Swanson, who is facing Giga Chikadze at UFC on Vegas. I think it's 25 or so. Hey, so listen, this is a really exciting fight, Cub, and Giga was really excited to get a big name opponent like you, a veteran, somebody that he's been watching for years. How do you feel about being on the reverse side of that equation, though, and fighting these guys that are all gunning for the veterans?
It's not, a big deal to me. I've been fighting all the tough guys. I had a little stretch of losses, and I really wanted to go back to the drawing board, kind of reevaluate, try to bring out the best of myself. So, taking a step backwards and fighting these dangerous up and comers, the reality is they usually make more mistakes that the veterans don't make, the top 15. So being able to, change things in my game, try to get a little better, try to, make sure that I'm, the best version of myself. It's better done. It's these young, hungry, up and comers.
Well, I would think too that there's a certain motivation in that. Like, no, not today, son. Not today. You know what I mean? Like just pump the brakes a little bit. Does that factor into it at all?
100%. Because they're always coming in and they'll try to take little shots here and there, and it's just funny. I think he said the other day that I was scared to stand with him, and I just saw that as, no, I'm not 22 anymore, and you can't poke my ego. It doesn't bother me. Like, what that tells me is you're hoping that you can get a rise out of me, and that I'll only stand with you because that's what you want. Right. Like, come on. I've been doing this a long time. I'll take the fight wherever I feel like you suck, and that's my job.
Well, he also did say, because I did speak to Giga earlier, he also did say that he expects that you might, not necessarily that it wouldn't be that you wouldn't want to trade with him, but that, yes, everybody assumes the path of least resistance is to take him down. And so the assumption is that most people are going to want to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assumption, but I think I'm a better boxer than him, better mixed martial artist. I think he has, the kickboxing experience. He's got the length. He's got strong kicks. I mean, it's definitely his advantage. Do I fear it? No. Am I aware of it? Yes.
Yeah.
And then obviously I have the advantage wrestling and grappling. Yeah. So we've been around each other in gyms.
Right.
And I've known him for a while. So yeah, it's all about me executing my game plan.
Well, and what's so cool too, and you mentioned this, that you did kind of take a step back and I don't know, reevaluate, I don't know if you reinvented or what, but a lot of time people don't reclaim who they were. So what do you think it is that you did either differently, or what is it about you that made you sort of come out of the dark side like even better into the light? Because some people live in the dark side and then never come back.
Well, I've always been one to reevaluate and really be honest with myself. And I keep people around me that are honest with me, that'll say, no, I don't think that's the right way of doing things. Or, I've purposely had people around me that'll be brutally honest with me. And, that sometimes can hurt. But if you can take it, then it's for the better. Yeah. I don't have a bunch of yes men just saying, yeah. So I think during that little losing streak, I was trying to and I think that changed part of my game, and kind of speed and agility has always really been my thing. So kind of getting back to that, and even as an aging fighter, I feel it. Something I keep hearing in the last couple camps is, man, you feel fast. Yeah. So that just feels good. It gives me confidence and just makes me know that I'm right there. I really feel like I'm the best version of myself.
Yeah. Well, that must feel great. Like, it must feel great to know that you have all the experience in your back pocket, but that you feel like you still have a lot ahead of you. Like that has to feel really good.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole thing about reinventing is just, it gives you new energy, new life. You get excited again. But I'm the later side of my career. I don't want to be doing this forever. So that also motivates me to say, okay, get to a point soon where you really feel like you were the best that you could have been. So that way, when you're ready to walk away and you're ready to see what else is out there in life, then you'll feel 100% satisfied. And to me, that's, everyone talks about people going out on top, and for me, that is going out on top, going out on my terms, going out when I feel like I couldn't be any better than I am right now.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I wonder too, because some people get into the game and they say, I just want to be the champion, and that's the only thing. And I think that in a way almost sets you up for not disappointment necessarily, but I think there's a lot of ways to find success and to find fulfillment without being a champion. But I am curious to you, like, what would it mean if you were the UFC champion? Like, how important is that? Like, what do you use? Like, is that, how valuable would that be to you?
I mean, it's definitely valuable. You spend a lot of time, kind of dreaming about that. And once it becomes reachable, and it's the ultimate honor. But the biggest thing is it's the ultimate honor in everyone else's eyes. I have gotten to the point where I feel like it's been more important for me to learn other things, and knowing that like a shiny piece of gold or a trophy that doesn't define me as a person. I feel like every fight has really made me grow as a person and as a father, and just just all around. And that was my goal from day one. Being able to go through. I don't know if you can hear my kids screaming. Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
But being able to continue to do what I'm doing with having my kids. And still being a dad and doing all that, to me is just showing that I'm taking another step as a human, and being able to put other people in front of my own desires. And at the end of the day, sometimes the title fight can be more of a popularity contest, and sometimes the most deserving person doesn't get it. So for me to say that defines me as a career, that doesn't make sense to me. I've learned to kind of look past that. Now, if I had the opportunity to fight for a title, I would be honored, and I think that would be being on top. But if it comes, then I'm okay with that, because I'm very proud of my career. I'm very proud of the person who I've become so far. And I think there's bigger things in life.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense. And the thing about it is even if it never happens, you could be in the Hall of Fame for your fight with Doo Ho Choi. You could be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, or are you already in the Hall of Fame for that? You should be.
I don't think so. Yeah.
You should be. You should be. Well, and that's just it, right? I think that's a really good point, is that there's a lot of success with there's layers to success. And do you think that part of that maybe comes from the fact too that in your youth, like you were already able to turn your life around in so many ways, right? So I wonder if like your value system is a little different maybe than some people, and that you've already learned that you're man enough to come up from hard times and regroup, and that you are a success even if you never did get that shiny belt.
Yeah, I mean, I think, having the support system that I've had, with my whole career, I've learned to think about what's important. What's important is that I've been able to accomplish so many things, and that I have something to show for it after my career is done. Making smart investments and not having blown all my money, you know.
Yeah.
It's things like that that I think are just as important, if not more important. Um, you know, I think a lot of people have been able to learn from me. A lot of up and coming fighters that I've mentored, but even ones that I don't even know about. I think being an inspiration to a lot of people. These are all things that I think mean more. Um, because if only lied about the little things, I would be hurt. Like I feel like I'm the longest tenured 145er. Um, I don't even have my picture on the wall anywhere at the PI or the Apex. And I'm coming up here on 30 fights with the company. So, if sometimes I'll be in a mood where it bothers me, but then other times I'm like, man, I have a great life. I've been able to do cool things. So don't let those kinds of things, get you down.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
I totally get what you're saying. I wasn't working last night at UFC 261, Cub, and I really would have loved it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
You know how it is. Like, you know how it is. But I still think I'm a success, even if I didn't work last night. But I really wanted to work last night. Whatever. It is what it is. But the thing about it is the real ones we all know and we appreciate you. Yeah. So, and I remember your fight with Crone, and I remember working that one, and I was there with Gil Melendez, and Gil and I have known each other for a really long time, and he was like kind of going for Crone, and I was like, yeah, but Cubby's my boy, and so it was funny because, like I said, we're good friends, so like we were having this funny little rivalry like up at the desk, but that was one of those fights where, yeah, I felt like I was like, okay, everybody, like he's not done yet and stuff, and so yeah, with Giga, like if you're victorious over Giga, like how have you plotted it out? Like what do you want to do next, and how many more fights are there in you? Like how will the rest of this play out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I have thought a lot about it. I have for a little while now because, I think it's only, like I said, I'm brutally honest. The people around me are brutally honest. Just the simple fact that they seem to be making me jump through hoops on medicals and stuff these days. You start to get a little older. They're like, hey, you got to do these 5 more things. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
So, I have a path, and I'd like to get this win. And then I know that that's enough with the up and comers and 3 wins in a row. It's time to get back to fighting the big boys, the big names in the division. So I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'd love to give myself one last run at the title and, just see if that happens. I got, my friend Michael Bisping did it. And so, yeah, it's an inspiration to me too. And really a storybook ending would be, and I brought this up to the UFC many times, they're building in Palm Springs, and if I could headline, it's a smaller 10,000 person arena, so headline a fight night in Palm Springs and be able to bring the sport to, my hometown, that would be like a huge send off for me. I'd be super grateful for that.
Well, I would love that, and I love Palm Springs. I usually stay in Indian Wells, actually, and we still need to hustle some people on the tennis court because I really, really want to do that. I totally want us to just roll up and be like, "Yo, anybody want to play a pickup game?" And then we just like fully smoke them. I think it would be amazing. I play the deuce side.
As well.
Yeah, I can play ad, but I prefer the deuce side. But I can play ad if you need.
I could play either or.
Oh, nice. Well, that would actually be really incredible. And you mentioned Michael. Folks should know that you guys have a UFC gym together down in Orange County, and they should definitely frequent that. But so like because your wife Kenda also has worked with the UFC and stuff. So when you guys like think about the retirement and after you're done fighting, are there those kind of roles that you still hope to do in the UFC though? Because sometimes we see people that are ambassadors or they're like training people in certain places. And what is life after fighting for you, Cup?
Well, that's a good segue, because I have a lot of things. Just recently I got forced into a couple of things that I had been already working on, at my own pace. But, I started managing fighters.
Nice.
And I have a partner, and we started Bloodline Combat Sports Agency.
Nice.
And we have, a little less than 10 guys, but people that, Rafa Garcia, that we got him into the UFC, took a short notice fight.
That's right.
And Argueta, who's on the Ultimate Fighter right now. And yeah, we have a really good roster, and just working from there. I have 2 gyms, I'm working on teaching at my UFC gym a little bit more, and I'm kind of an entrepreneur. I'd love to keep myself open to doing other things. I'm dabbling in the real estate market. Nice. And stock market, and so I try to keep my options open. I would love to do more public speaking. I would love to do more analytic jobs for.
I know. I was gonna say we gotta get you back at the desk, because we used to do UFC Now, and Alan was working with me so one time we had me, Alan, and Bisping, and we're like, oh my god, it's like the old days, and we're always harping on them to bring a UFC Now back, because that was so fun working with you on that.
Yeah, I always enjoy that. I feel like I was slowly getting better at it. So I feel like I could still be better with speaking, because that was never anything I ever wanted to do. But my knowledge of the game and my passion, I think, comes across, and so I think that I could add, my knowledge to it.
Definitely, you're a real one, Cub. That's the whole thing about it, is you're a real one. People know you come across very genuine all the time, and you know how to throw down. So come on. Listen,
well, I appreciate it. To me, that's been one of the best things too. Is I get emotional after fights, but man, I'm just trying to be the most real as possible. I'm so frustrated and tired of the fakeness and the roles and just the loudmouths. I want the next generation fighters to know, hey, even the toughest guys get scared. We have doubts sometimes. Hey, these things are hard, and you push through. I just want to be as real as possible. And I feel like there's a lot of people that can learn from that, and I feel like more people will be inspired by that than trying to entertain people and giving them some load of crap that isn't real. So I just, me and my wife, even with our little Swanson videos, we're trying to be as real as possible, be as relatable as possible, and not try to cut things out that don't make us look a certain way. We want people to know we're just ordinary people. We just work really hard.
Yeah. Well, and we respect that so much, and it's funny because, even last night with Jake Paul at the fights, there's a real big part of me that's just F this dude, you know what I mean? Get out of here. I don't even want you around our real athletes, but it's frustrating. But at the same time, then I think, well, I want my friends to get some big payday beating up this idiot, but I'm very conflicted when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. I know, I get it. But that's the world we're navigating through. But when my take on it for the MMA fighters is you're trying to take a shortcut to get to where you are probably already going to get. But you just kind of sold you sold your soul in a sense to get that. And for what, a little bit more money? I'll take a little bit less money and stay who I am and be true to myself.
Exactly. That's all we really have at the end of the day. And I think about that too, Cub. I think about that, am I being true to myself? Am I following my principles? And you have, and that's why everybody loves you. So if ideally, how would you finish the fight with Giga? What's the ideal win for you in that situation?
I'd love a first round finish. You
Yeah.
know, I think the last fight was really nice for me to get a finish. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't in the first round, but it you know, I got my leg beat up a little bit.
Yeah.
Had to push through that, and I got the finish. And so I think another finish, and if it could be a first round finish, it kind of gives people, maybe I won't be the underdog on the next one. So yeah, I feel like it breathes new life into my career again. Helps push me towards that top 15 guys and towards another big fight. I mean, obviously this is a big fight. We're calling an event, but you know, a top guy, and yeah, I think that a quick finish just helps push me in the direction of what I need and what I want. So yeah,
it would be great. But on the way out, are you gonna pick a fight with some of the media? Before I let you go, I have to ask you about that, because I actually I wasn't mad at that at all, and I was like, yo, which one of these biatches wants to come and get some of this? Because I'll. But you know, Cub, I play the not the face game. Like, even when I'm on the tennis court, I'm like, not the face, not the face. But I do think I can take a body punch, but not the face. But that was actually a really interesting thing, and really, I guess your point was really more just about people understanding each side of what we're doing, right? It wasn't like you were saying the media was a bunch of chumps, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It sucked because, and I've had multiple conversations with people about it, and when the media friends with. It sucked because people kind of latched on with their interpretation of it, and it got a little bit ugly. But yeah, all I was saying was, you know, sometimes, you know, the media will ask a stupid question, and you know that, and that they may say, oh, well, I have to because my boss will be mad if I don't ask this, and that's my job. And that's why later I compared it to PED use, because I really feel like they're very comparable. It's like, why do fighters cheat? Well, because they feel like they have to, because everyone else is. And if I don't, then why don't you do something else? Because this is what I do. This is my life, you know? So anyways, I didn't mean to offend anyone, really. I'm glad it caused, you know, sparked a conversation. But really all I was saying is I just wish that you could feel what I feel the week of the fight, and know emotional roller coaster, and like what it's like to be cutting weight and have cotton mouth, and you're asking me 1,000 questions, ones that I've already answered 6 times.
Yeah.
And if I happen to get a little short or snippy, it's not you particularly. You could ask my wife or my friends and family around. When you're cutting weight, they just kind of stay away from you because you're short-tempered. You got a lot of pressure. You haven't been eating. You know, any animal, a dog, anybody that gets put in that environment with pressure and not eating, they feel a certain way, right? Yeah. So you can't expect us, and I feel like fighters do it with so much professionalism.
You do.
And I just wish that on the other side you felt what I felt, and that was it. That's all I was implying. And the reason why no one asked me, it's for a reason. The first fight, you don't even know what to expect. You kind of go in it like, okay, this is happening. And then when it really hits you and you feel this like terrifying feeling, like, am I really going to do this? You start second guessing.
Yeah.
And then no matter how the outcome comes out, when you go to do the second one, it's worse than the first because you remember and you know, like, that was terrible.
Right now, volunteering for this again? Yeah, wait, what am I doing?
So to do it multiple times, I think it takes even more. I always tell people, you look up, you know, anybody, you know, the records, the most common record in any database is 0-1. People try it one time, they lose, they never do it again. Right. Because they can't bring themselves to come back. And that's why I've said, you know, sometimes a fighter that's undefeated that really didn't push themselves to break you, it's hard to respect them sometimes because we've never seen them have to come back from anything. Right. You know, seeing a fighter come back from their only loss, you know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot more than than all those wins.
Yeah.
Those wins came easy. They got easier. Coming back from a loss just takes so much courage.
It really does. And that's what's so great about your story is that you didn't give up. You kept going. You've come back. You're looking amazing. And so it's just been really fun. And I agree with you. Like, I didn't get offended on that media stuff. You know, I used to play a lot of sports when I was younger, and like, I love it. But I do say every day, like, my friends are crazy. Like, you guys are crazy for making that walk, because I can't imagine what that feels like. I just can't. Like, I can and I can't, right? Because obviously I'm around a lot of people who I've seen my good friends who on Monday are one day, and then I saw them on Thursday. I was like, who's that a-hole? You know what I mean? But it's because they're cutting weight. Maybe on media day, they shouldn't feed us at all. Maybe, you know, I don't know what, just to give us a little bit more of an equivalent, you know, playing field or something when we're talking to you guys. But I personally, I do understand what you meant. And I will say this though, the flip side of it, and you're a special case because you've worked on television as well. But a lot of the guys though, and girls, don't actually appreciate what it is like on our side either. And, you know, the pressures of it, the whatever that goes into it. And I remember talking to, you know, when Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee had that thing on the air, right? And then Kevin came on with us on TV, and then he was like, well, maybe I should have been a little nicer to Tony because this is hard. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, I get it now. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in something. We're all fighting something.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I know. I can respect that. I could respect, you know, having a deadline and trying to, you know, work with, you know, an athlete that's not giving you a thing. I mean, I get both sides.
Yeah.
And yeah, I meant no harm. And people really thought like that I would cheer against, like, any media person ever does a fight, I will be cheering for them.
Yeah.
I will be so proud of them. I just think that it's something they don't have to do, but
Right.
I would respect the hell out of it, you know? So for anybody thinking that I want to see media people get beat up, that's not the case, because I like everybody, you know? I just think that everyone should fight, you know? I feel like that if you're ever looking for who you are as a person and you want to see what you're made of, then taking an amateur fight or doing a competition that's one-on-one combatives is just going to really, you know, teach you things that you wouldn't have learned.
Yep. Well, you're right. Well, if it's any consolation, Cub, I do prefer playing singles than doubles. So yeah, I like having all the pressure of the tennis court. I like it all on me. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've been wanting to record some more stuff for my social media about competing in other sports. So
yeah.
I would love to do that. I'd love to film it and get it out there. So yeah, it'd be awesome.
Cool. Well, listen, you have a lot of great advice, and I really do hope you do more of the public speaking, because I think you could really help a lot of people, not just athletes, just young people in general. Because yeah, you have a lot of wisdom, and it's great. But for this week, the fact that you know how to throw down is what's most important. So really looking forward to seeing you fight with Giga, and yeah, you always deliver, Cub. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk today, and best of luck in the fight.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Love talking to you, and hopefully we'll at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Thank you.